Everyone thinks Athena is the cool, unproblematic girl boss of Olympus. Wrong. Athena is not a feminist icon. She's actually the ultimate pick-me, a patriarchy defender and a goddess who punishes women instead of powerful men. Yeah, I said it. Athena is always marketed as the goddess of wisdom. Smart, calm, logical. She is portrayed as not like other goddesses, which is already a red flag. Because in mythology, when a woman is praised for being not like other women, it usually means she's useful to men. Let's look at her origin story. Athena is born fully grown from Zeus's head. No mother, no womb, just daddy's brain. And Athena loves this. Her whole personality is, I literally came from a man's mind. That's not wisdom. That's pick-me LinkedIn energy. She never challenges Zeus, never questions his cheating, abuse, or power. Because siding with Zeus means staying on top. Athena's wisdom is always about war strategy, politics, and control. Not empathy, not justice, not protecting victims. Her wisdom is basically how to keep the system running smoothly, which is convenient for men. Take Arachne, for example. Arachne is a mortal woman who's insanely good at weaving. So good she challenges Athena. They compete. Arachne's work is perfect, and it exposes the gods' scandals. Athena sees it and goes feral. She destroys the tapestry, attacks Arachne, then turns her into a spider. Because Athena couldn't handle losing. That's not wisdom. That's a sore loser with god privileges. She didn't want skill. She wanted obedience. And then there is Medusa. Medusa was a priestess of Athena. Poseidon assaults her inside Athena's temple. So what does Athena do? Punish Poseidon? Hold him accountable? Nope. She punishes Medusa, turns her into a monster, destroys her life. Why? Because Athena didn't want drama with her uncle. This is textbook victim blaming. Poseidon walks free. Medusa becomes a warning. Athena chose power over justice. And people still call her wise? Be serious. Here is the pattern. Athena always protects powerful men, punishes women who speak up, and rewards silence and obedience. She's not anti-woman. She's anti-disruption. Her wisdom is about maintaining patriarchy, not challenging it. In conclusion, Athena is complex. Athena is powerful. But she is not your feminist queen. She's the goddess of respectability politics. The goddess of, I survived the system. So should you. She is enforcing patriarchy with a calm face. Athena isn't the goddess of wisdom. She's the goddess of protecting power and calling it intelligence. Like, subscribe, and comment. Everyone imagines Zeus as this majestic, white-bearded grandfather figure sitting on a cloud, throwing lightning bolts and dispensing justice. You know, the Disney version? Wrong. If Zeus existed today, he wouldn't be a respected CEO. He would be in prison, or at the very least, canceled on Twitter every single day. He is the definition of toxic masculinity, a serial cheater, and arguably the worst father in the history of the universe. Let's look at his resume. Before he married Hera, Zeus had a first wife named Metis. She was literally the goddess of wisdom. She actually helped Zeus save his siblings from his crazy dad, Kronos. So, a supportive partner, right? Well, a prophecy said that Metis' second child would be stronger than Zeus. And Zeus, being the insecure narcissist he is, panicked. He didn't break up with her. He didn't talk it out. He tricked her into turning into a fly, and then he swallowed her whole. Yes. He ate his pregnant wife. That is how Athena was born later, from his head. But let's not forget the king of gods literally cannibalized his partner to stay in power. That's not leadership. That's a horror movie. And then there is Hera, his sister wife. Yeah, let's not dwell on the incest part. It's Greek mythology. He promised to be faithful. Spoiler alert, he wasn't. But it's not just that he cheated. It's how he cheated. Zeus didn't use pickup lines. He used deception. He turned into a cuckoo bird to trick Hera. He turned into a bull to kidnap Europa. He turned into a swan for Leda. He even turned into golden rain to get into a locked tower. The man went to extreme biological lengths just to hook up with women who couldn't say no. It's predatory, it's creepy, and it's painted as romance in art museums. So, why is he the king? Because he has the biggest lightning bolt. That's it. His rule is based on fear, not wisdom. He punishes Prometheus for giving humans fire. He causes the Trojan War just to reduce the population. Zeus represents power without accountability. He is the guy who breaks everything and blames everyone else. So next time you see a statue of Zeus, don't see a hero. See him for what he is. The original toxic boyfriend that everyone warned you about. If you think Hera is the respectable queen of Olympus and the protector of marriage, you have been lied to. In reality, Hera is the original Karen. She is the CEO of misdirected anger and the absolute worst wife in history. Her entire existence revolves around her husband, Zeus, cheating on her. But instead of divorcing him or punishing him, she spends 100% of her energy destroying the lives of the women he assaults. She doesn't fight the patriarchy. She enforces it. She is the woman who stays with the toxic guy and screams at the barista because her latte is too cold. Let's look at her track record. First, there was Io. Zeus turned Io into a cow to hide her. Did Hera rescue her? No. She tied the poor cow to a tree and sent a horsefly to bite her. Forever. She literally tortured a victim for years just to annoy her husband. Then, there was Echo. Echo was a nymph whose only crime was talking to Hera to distract her. When Hera found out, she didn't just tell her to shut up. She cursed Echo to lose her voice and only be able to repeat the last words she heard. Think about that. She stripped a woman of her ability to speak just because she was annoyed. That is not queen energy. That is a power trip. But Hera isn't just a bad wife. She is a terrible mother. When she gave birth to Hephaestus, she looked at him and decided he was, quote-unquote, too ugly. So, she threw him off Mount Olympus. She literally yeeted her own newborn baby off a mountain because he didn't fit her aesthetic. He fell for a whole day and broke his legs. That is why Hephaestus is disabled. Great parenting, Hera. And then, there is the Milky Way incident. Zeus tried to make baby Hercules drink Hera's milk while she was asleep. When she woke up and realized she was breastfeeding her husband's illegitimate child, she pushed him away in disgust. The milk sprayed across the sky and created our galaxy. Yes, you heard that right. We live in a galaxy made of Hera's rejected breast milk. People defend Hera saying, oh, she was just jealous, or she couldn't punish Zeus because he's the king. Wrong. She led a rebellion against Zeus once. She knows how to fight. She just chooses to punch down. She represents the system that punishes victims while letting powerful men walk free. So next time you see a statue of Hera, don't bow. Run. Because she is definitely asking to speak to your manager. If you scroll through TikTok or read webtoons, you probably think Hades is the good guy of Olympus. You know the vibe. Zeus is a cheater, but Hades? He is the misunderstood goth king who treats his wife like a queen. I hate to be the one to ruin your teenage fantasy, but no. Hades is not a soft boy. He is not a romantic hero. He is literally a kidnapper who runs a maximum security prison. The only reason he looks good is because the bar is set by Zeus, which is basically on the floor. Let's look at the meet cute. Hades didn't ask Persephone out on a coffee date. He didn't swipe right. He saw his own niece picking flowers, decided he owned her, split the earth open, and dragged her screaming into the underworld. This wasn't a consensual elopement. Her mother, Demeter, was so heartbroken she literally stopped the seasons, causing the first winter and starving half of humanity. That's not a love story. That is a global climate crisis caused by a hostage situation. But she chose to stay. Did she? Let's talk about the pomegranate seeds. In mythology, eating food in the underworld binds you there forever. Hades knew this. He fed her the seeds on purpose to trap her legally before Zeus could force him to release her. That is not romance. That is entrapment. It is textbook manipulation. Persephone didn't fall in love. She developed Stockholm Syndrome because she realized she was never going to see the sun again. And the biggest lie of all, Hades is loyal. False. Before Persephone, there was Zeus. He kidnapped her too. And when she died, he turned her into a poplar tree. Then there was Minthe. Hades was having an affair with this nymph. When Persephone found out, she stomped Minthe to death and turned her into a mint plant. So, Hades cheated on his kidnapped wife with a nymph, and then let his wife murder his mistress. Yeah, sounds like a super healthy relationship. Hades isn't a brooding bad boy with a heart of gold. He is just Zeus with better PR and darker clothing. He represents control, isolation, and possession. So please stop calling him daddy. He is literally her uncle, and he is a jailer. Meet Apollo, god of the sun, music, archery, poetry, and prophecy. Basically, he is the guy who peaked in high school and won't stop talking about it. Everyone loves him because he's handsome and artistic. But let's be real. Apollo is the ultimate Nepo baby. He is Zeus's favorite son, and he acts like it. He walks around Olympus with unearned confidence, thinking every woman and man should be grateful to date him. And when they say no, the mask slips, and he becomes a monster. His most famous love story is Daphne. Apollo thought he was entitled to her just because he shot a good arrow. When Daphne said no and ran away, did he respect her boundaries? Nope. He chased her through the woods like a predator. Daphne was so terrified that she begged her father to turn her into a tree just to escape him. Imagine being so annoying that a woman prefers to be a vegetable than have dinner with you. And the creepiest part? After she turned into a laurel tree, Apollo didn't apologize. He broke off her branches and wore them as a crown. He literally made her trauma his fashion statement. Then there is Cassandra. This is textbook nice guy manipulation. Apollo wanted to sleep with her, so he gave her the gift of prophecy as a gift. When she still rejected him, he didn't take the gift back. He cursed her. He made it so she would see the future, but no one would ever believe her. He ensured that she would look crazy to everyone else while watching her city, Troy, burn to the ground. That is psychological warfare. That is, if I can't have you, I'll destroy your reputation. But his toxicity isn't just about dating. He is also a violently sore loser. A satyr named Marsyas challenged Apollo to a music contest. Marsyas played the flute. Apollo played the lyre. The judges actually liked Marsyas better. Apollo threw a tantrum, rigged the rules, and eventually won. And his prize? He tied Marsyas to a tree and flayed him alive. Yes, the god of music skinned a musician alive just because he was insecure about his talent. That's not an artist. That's a psychopath with a harp. Apollo represents the dangerous side of perfection. He is shiny, golden, and talented, but underneath he is fragile and cruel. He destroys anyone who bruises his ego. So, stop calling him the god of healing. He is the god of gaslighting. Everyone thinks Aphrodite is just hearts, flowers, and Valentine's Day. But her origin story? It is definitely rated R. Unlike other gods, she wasn't born from a mother. She was born when Kronos cut off his father, Uranus's let's call them family jewels, and threw them into the ocean. The sea foam mixed with the blood and boom, Aphrodite popped out. So technically, the goddess of beauty is made of severed dad parts and sea foam. Talk about a glamorous entrance. Zeus forced Aphrodite to marry Hephaestus, the god of blacksmiths, because he was considered the ugly god, and Zeus thought it would stop the others from fighting. Did Aphrodite accept this? Absolutely not. She immediately started hooking up with Ares, the god of war. He was the classic bad boy, toxic, violent, and exciting. One day, Hephaestus caught them. He built a magical, invisible golden net and trapped them in bed together. Then he invited all the other gods to come and laugh at them. It was the first ever celebrity leaked tape scandal. And Aphrodite? She didn't care. She loves the drama. But her worst crime wasn't cheating. It was starting a world war over a beauty pageant. It started with a golden apple labeled for the fairest. Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite all wanted it. They asked a mortal prince, Paris, to judge. Hera offered him power. Athena offered him wisdom. But Aphrodite? She played dirty. She offered him the most beautiful woman in the world, Helen of Sparta. The problem? Helen was already married. Aphrodite didn't care. She helped Paris kidnap Helen, which triggered the Trojan War. Thousands of people died. Cities were burned. Heroes fell. All because Aphrodite needed a random guy to tell her she was pretty. That is peak narcissism. If you think she supports other women, think again. Look at Psyche. Psyche was a mortal girl so beautiful that people started paying more attention to her than Aphrodite. Aphrodite lost her mind. She ordered her son, Cupid, to make Psyche fall in love with a monster. When that failed, she tortured Psyche with impossible tasks, like sorting a mountain of seeds or going to the underworld to fetch beauty cream. She is the mother-in-law from hell who literally tries to kill you because you're too pretty. Aphrodite isn't the goddess of healthy love. She represents obsession, vanity, and chaos. She treats humans like toys and starts wars for compliments. She is the influencer who creates drama for views and doesn't care who gets hurt. So maybe don't ask her for relationship advice. In a world full of selfish, partying, narcissist gods, Prometheus was the only one who actually gave a damn. While Zeus was busy chasing skirts and causing wars, Prometheus was busy creating us. According to the myth, he molded humans out of clay. He designed us. He is literally our dad. And unlike Zeus, who viewed humans as disposable toys or slaves, Prometheus wanted us to survive. He wanted us to thrive. Here is the conflict. Zeus wanted humans to be weak, cold, and dumb. He literally banned fire. Why? Because fire represents technology. It represents warmth, cooking, metalworking, and civilization. Zeus knew that if humans had fire, we wouldn't need to pray to him every 5 seconds out of fear. He was gatekeeping progress to maintain his dictatorship. Prometheus wasn't having it. He saw his creations suffering in the dark, and he decided to break the law. He pulled off the biggest heist in mythology. He climbed Mount Olympus, lit a torch from the sun, or Hestia's hearth, depending on the version, and brought it down to humanity. This wasn't just heat. This was knowledge. This was the moment humans stopped being animals and started being people. Prometheus gave us the tools to stand on our own. He freed us from total dependency on the gods. Zeus was furious, not because a rule was broken, but because he lost control. The punishment he designed for Prometheus is the most brutal thing in all of mythology. He didn't just kill him. He chained Prometheus to a rock in the Caucasus Mountains. Every single day, a giant eagle, Zeus's symbol, would fly down and rip open his stomach to eat his liver. Because Prometheus was immortal, his liver would grow back every single night. And the next morning, the eagle came back. He endured this torture for thousands of years. Not for greed, not for lust, but because he helped us. And Zeus wasn't done. He wanted to punish humans too. He commissioned the creation of Pandora, the first woman, and gave her a jar, or box, full of all the evils in the world: sickness, death, war. He tricked her into opening it, unleashing suffering onto humanity. Why? Just to spite Prometheus. Oh, you gave them fire? Fine. I'll give them cancer and depression. That is the level of pettiness we are dealing with. Prometheus is the ultimate whistleblower. He stood up against a corrupt tyrant to help the weak, knowing he would suffer for it. So, if you are warm right now, if you are cooking food or using a computer, thank Prometheus. And maybe, just maybe, flip off a statue of Zeus, greater than